I've always been the type of person that enjoys a good flight. Flying has always been fun to me. I love airports. I'm like a kid in a candy shop. I can't get enough of it. Every time I go, it's just an exciting experience, an exhilarating experience. And I feel like, I don't know if necessarily at home is the right way to put it, but I just feel comfortable, which is weird actually because I don't necessarily like large crowds. You will not see me in a party sort of scene. You won't see me at the club. That's just, I mean, maybe a small club with not a lot of people, but once it starts getting too crowded, my brain starts scrambling and I just want to leave. And oh my God, you'd catch me dead before you've seen me on a dance floor. I mean, I might bust out a move, like I got this one right here. This is about my one and only dance move. Yeah, that's about all I got in that arena. Regardless, I'm going off on an entire tangent that really has nothing to do with the main topic today. We're talking about Boeing and this guy whose name is John Barnett. He is a whistleblower. He used to work for Boeing and he was one of the like quality control guys. He would make, with the checklist, make sure everything was safe, everything was fine and dandy. And the real problem with Boeing is that it's not. Apparently, nothing about Boeing is safe. Apparently, they use super glue to tape or to glue their planes together. From reading about this, Boeing would they would take parts from airplanes and just put them on other airplanes with like no engineering like checks or anything. They would just boop transplant. No one cared. They also approved something in their factories where the engineers or whatever that like were putting the planes together could just check off their own work. Like, yeah, this is good without anyone coming behind them and actually making sure that it was like safe. Like, let's say somebody welded something, they could just look at that weld and say, "Yep, I think I did a great job." And I'm sure you can understand why that's a problem because people are going to be probably biased with their own work. And if they do something wrong, they're probably not they're not likely to just be like, "Oh, yep, I really seriously fucked up. There's my job on the line." They'd just be like, "Yep, there's some duct tape. I'm sure that'll be fine. I'm sure that'll hold." And I'm sure you guys have heard about the doors flying off and all these things going on in the aviation world that aren't safe. I mean, like they say that aviation is super safe. You're more safe to be in an airplane than you are to be in a lead box with food delivered to you every day and water delivered to you every day. Like, you're more safe to be in an airplane than you are to be completely enclosed or something. Like, I don't. They talk about aviation like it's so safe, but the problem is that if you crash, I mean, you're done. Like, it's safe while everything's fine. Once everything blows up, you're toast. Like, there's not really any saving you. But regardless, this guy named John, he is a whistleblower. He was trying to kind of out some of the practices that Boeing had been doing, like these unsafe there was little shavings of titanium on connectors and stuff, and it's just very unsafe practices that Boeing was a part of, and a lot of this has to do with the managers taking the employees like insights and their complaints and their knowledge on how this is unsafe and just blowing it under the rug, not even really acknowledging that it was happening or that anything was wrong. And that happened to John Barnett, and he ended up leaving the company in 2017 due to workplace stress, which was most likely, it never came out, nobody came out saying this, he never said this, but a lot of it definitely had to do with the way that he was being treated by the higher ups and the way that, I mean, he is the quality, like, control inspector of the airplane, that he was designated to, and any type of, criticism that he would, like, give the higher ups, they would just disregard it, be like, yeah, it's fine. I'm sure they'll be fine. Like, no big deal. Only hundreds of people are getting on this plane every flight. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. No need for safety here. And yeah, he was found dead in his car by suicide, apparently. Right before a case that he filed where he was going to be the whistleblower in the case and kind of out everything that Boeing had been doing. He ends up dead like weeks before this case. There's a whole bunch of reasons why I think that is super, like, that just doesn't make any sense. And first off, a big red flag is, why would he do something like that right before he's going to get his point across in a court? Like, at this point, the managers, they can't just be like, nope, you're wrong. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing and just disregard you. Why would he do something to himself like this right before the case? And they say that he was being bullied by the managers and that this like brought back tragic memories of him working at the company, and that's why he did it. To me, I don't understand. Like, maybe, they're at this moment in time, there's not a whole bunch of information on this, like, on, the possible stressors that might have led John to do something like this, but it seems really convenient for Boeing right before that trial date was about to hit, right before John Barnett was going to lay the beans on their entire like company, that he just ends up dead in his car. It just seems super convenient. And we've seen it time and time again. Somebody will be speaking out against a big company, and before you know it, they end up dead. And some of these can't just be actual suicides. Like, some of these have to actually be like foul play. Like, I feel like the way that this is going, it seems like this is all going to be swept under the rug. I mean, Boeing, John was trying to do this not because he disliked Boeing, not because he wanted Boeing to fail or he wanted them to get in trouble or anything. It's because he wanted them to succeed. And Boeing came out saying that they reviewed the complaints or the quality issues that John brought up to them, but all they said was, "We are saddened by Mr. Barnett's passing and our thoughts are with his family and friends." That is the most Lego PR mumbo jumbo ever. Like that is just the most generic thing I've ever heard a company say ever. There's no. Clearly the company doesn't care about his death, really. They're probably like, oh God. If it was an actual suicide, they're probably like wiping sweat off of their forehead, thanking God that he's not going to be there to put light on all these issues that Boeing has. I wouldn't fly them though. After all of this nonsense, apparently, like, their planes, from what I understand, are like one gust of wind away from just blowing apart. So I don't know. I would not trust my life in a Boeing aircraft at all. Even though I love flying, I just wouldn't do it. But yeah, they say that this whole situation has been wearing on him, but like, again, he's finally going to be able to speak his mind in front of the court. He's finally going to be able to come out and say, hey, these are the problems that Boeing was having. This is how I was treated. This is why whistleblowers should be given more rights and should be heard more because of safety and all that. Like, profits should not be put over safety ever. And a couple like $100 million is not worth 100 people dying or even one person dying. It's just not right. So yeah, it's very sad situation. This guy actually had the potential to really, turn some stuff around, give whistleblowers, and I don't even really like the term whistleblower. It almost sounds derogatory, like, oh, you're a snitch, you bastard. But when it comes to aviation and when it comes to things that put this many people's lives at risk, it's a very serious thing that should be addressed. Like, whistleblowers shouldn't just be swept under the rug and like, oh, you're just being too much of a harpy. You're being too literal here. Who cares? Oh, that piece of metal's almost broken. Slap it on there. No big deal. We'll be good. Like, these kind of things should definitely be brought to for people to know. Like, people should know these types of safety issues, especially when it comes to getting on an aircraft that's going to be thousands of feet in the air. And once again, if anything goes wrong in that aircraft and there's nothing they can do about it, well, you are toast, which is why, like, these airplanes really need to be, like, locked tight in terms of, like, their structure and stuff. So, yeah, it says Barnett refused to bend to the pressure and continually raised issues that needed to be properly documented and addressed. In retaliation for his complaints and identifying issues that needed to be properly documented and addressed, Barnett was given low performance management scores. He was separated from his team and moved to other areas in the plant and blacklisted and blocked from transferring to other Boeing divisions outside of BSC. So he was doing his job. He would tell them, like, what was wrong, what needed to change, and they would just give him, like, low scores, his low performance management scores, because he was doing his job. What a class act, Boeing. Wow. So, yeah, he also, the lawsuit filed to the U.S. Department of Labor says in January 2017, Barnett was notified that his name was one of 49 listed in an email on a supervisor's desk titled Quality Managers to Get Rid of. So, yeah, they clearly were not treating him very well. And if you're treating your quality managers like not good because they are bringing attention to issues that are on your aircrafts, then there's something seriously internally wrong that needs to change. So, yeah, guys, I just wanted to bring light to this situation because I find it just horrendous. Like, a dude in the aviation industry bringing light to serious problems in this company, and now he's dead. So, apparently due to suicide, which, once again, I could be. I mean, I'm not going to blame Boeing outright because, like, I don't know. But it just feels super fishy, the fact that he was finally going to be able to come speak out against against Boeing, and now he's just, now he's just gone. So, yeah, guys, I found it pretty interesting what's going on at the Boeing headquarters with, this whole story. But let me know what you think down in the comments. That's all I got. See ya.